Alright, what is up, guys? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you a Pokemon TCGO battle. Back from vacation. I still had this one on my computer. It's from a while ago. All I remember is I'm using Chandelure, but other than that, I completely forget what happens, so I guess we'll find out together. This will probably be my last TCGO upload pre-Next Destinies. That comes out in a little under a week. So I suppose there's a slim chance that I'll get another video up, but I wouldn't count on it, just because like I said, I just got back from vacation, so I've got other stuff to take care of, and I don't know, just kind of fed up with TCGO and all of the glitches, so I haven't actually played very much recently. So anyhow, as you can see, I lead a lone Oddish, which is not an ideal start. Don't have a collector either. Luckily, I do have that PCOM, so I'm going to be able to trade away one of these Lampents, and if I'm smart, I am probably going to grab Cleffa. That's right, okay. I look for Cleffa. Oh, there she is. Okay, did have her. I could have also grabbed Pichu. Not sure why I didn't. And you can see I got some of those nice new promo Litwicks that were released right before I left. So those are definitely the best ones to have. They let you call for family to get stuff on your bench, which is really helpful. Way better than the other two available. So I'm going to take a moment here just to check and see what's prized, see how many pieces of what I'm missing. And it looks like I should be good to go. I've got everything here. So my opponent has a Chinchou, and that is a Dialga on his bench. I could not believe when he set that down. This match is starting to come back to me now, and I remember why I decided to keep it. This guy's deck is crazy. I don't know. I think he just bought booster packs, and any rare card that he got, he threw into the deck. So we've got a Dialga on the bench, one of the worst cards of all time. I will zoom in on it here in a minute and show you exactly how bad it is. But with that Sage, I'm forced to get rid of quite a bit of energy there. I don't mind too much though, because actually attacking is kind of second priority to this deck. The main way you're going to put damage down is with the Curse Shadow ability. So I don't mind throwing away the energy, and I've got a couple of Litwicks now, and I've got that full Chandelure line waiting to go. All I need is a rare candy. I'll get into Vileplume, and that'll be awesome. If I can get a turn 2 Vileplume going, that'll be fantastic. So now we see a Vulpix and a turn 2 Suicune Entei Legend. He doesn't play any supporters. He just had that or drew it. So here I take time to look at Dialga real quick, and then yeah, so I've got a Legend to deal with. Luckily, he doesn't have any energy on it, and it takes 3, I believe, to do anything. So I've got a few turns before he's really going to be able to attack. Then he goes for Dual Ball, grabs a Zekrom. So we've got Zekrom, Suicune Entei, and then we've got Dialga, who takes 4 Steel Energy to do anything. So crazy deck. It was just, I was baffled this entire time. I had no idea what was going on, but I'm going to go ahead, evolve into Lampen, and I'm thinking here I have the option to retreat Cleffa and use Luring Light to drag something active, and that's going to let me trap something. And I could have dragged up that Dialga, but for one reason or another I decided to eek. I think my thought process was I had a fairly good probability of drawing back into a Chandelure, and I also really wanted to try and get in Vileplume next turn. So now I get the rare candy, but I don't have the Vileplume, so that's kind of frustrating. I had one half of it before, got the other half now, and still missing out on it. So he's going to play Super Scoop Up for whatever reason, I guess because he had it, and he just plays all the cards he can every turn. So I think he flipped a heads. Yeah, he actually picks up his Chinchou, which is not a bad move. It basically works as a switch. He's able to promote Zekrom this turn and put Chinchou back on the bench, so he saves needed an energy to attack. But then he doesn't have an energy to use Outrage anyhow, so it doesn't really matter. I am going to evolve into another Lampent, and I want to have a Lampent out because my plan here is at some point I want to use Luring Light to drag that Dialga active, and if I can just trap that thing in the active spot, I can snipe around behind it all day. So that is what I'm going to do, and that's why I decide to attach the energy onto the Lampent rather than the Chandelure. I want to have an energy guaranteed on that Lampent just in case I need to trap something in the active, and that is actually my plan. As soon as Zekrom gets going, I want to get it out of the active and put in something that is not going to be able to attack me. So draw into a few more energy here. My opponent just has to draw past, so that sucks for him. And at this point, I actually pull that Pikachu, and I remember thinking, well, that was dumb. I definitely could have used that on turn 1 and had my bench completely set up. And with this guy's deck, there's no telling what he might have drawn into. But finally get all the pieces I need for Vileplume. I got the Rare Candy, I got the Pecom. So as tempting as it was to go for a Doduo, I absolutely want to get Vileplume up instead on the off chance this guy's got Catcher or, I don't know, Rare Candy or Potion. I don't know what to expect from this deck, so I'm just going to go ahead, set up a Chandelure, and just keep eking. I don't really feel any pressure at this point. You know, I could start attacking with that first Chandelure, or at least start using my Poke Power, but I don't really see the point yet. I can only do 30 damage, and I'm still missing some pieces of my support bench, so I decided to just eke instead, and I get a third Litwick, so I've got that going. I really am looking for a Doduo here. That's the final piece I'm missing. If I can get, you know, ideally this deck wants 2 Chandelure, Vileplume, and Dodrio, and then, you know, that last spot can be used for Blissey or another Chandelure. Really, it's kind of open, but my opponent finally gets his second energy. He really hit a drought there, and since I haven't actually attacked him, Outrage is not going to KO Cleffa. So that's kind of a funny mental image of this huge dragon attacking this tiny baby and not being able to kill it. So anyhow, I could sack Cleffa here, and I think that's what I'm going to do. You see, I have that Twins in my hand, so by sacrificing Cleffa, it will let me get the final pieces of my puzzle. I can grab a Doduo and get another Chandelure and really start to get things rolling. And so that's what I decide to do. So now Cleffa finally goes down. She definitely did her job. I, you know, cycled through my hand quite a bit here. And I'm just going to go into Chandelure. I probably could have gone into Lampent here, and that might have actually been the better play because it's going to take at least a turn to get Dodrio up. So for this turn, Chandelure is going to be stuck active there, and I can put 30 damage on something, but I think dragging that Dialga active probably would have been the better move. So a bit of a misplay, but not a really big one on my part. And I guess what I decided to do with that Twins is go ahead and grab another Psychic Energy so that I'll be able to actually attack this Zekrom. And now I remember I was thinking he hasn't drawn a whole lot of energy. The Zekrom is actually the only thing that has any energy on it. So if I can, you know, burn and confuse it and actually knock out this Zekrom, I'm going to destroy his energy supply. And that'll basically knock him out of the game too. So I guess that's why I decided to go into Chandelure rather than drag that Dialga active with Lampent. But kind of a risky play. I could have taken a big chunk of damage here if he lands the Outrage. I think he's got 100 damage on him. So I did do the math. I knew that even if he flips a heads, he's going to be 10 short of a knockout. So I felt okay going for it. And if he flips tails, he is actually going to knock himself out, or I'll be able to take him out with a Cursed Shadow the next turn. So I feel pretty good. The only 2 energies he's managed to get into play are going to go down next turn no matter what. And so now we see him Mareep hit the bench. He doesn't have a Lantern Prime. He's got that regular Lantern, but it looks like he's going to start powering up SEL. And that's not great news for me. Luckily, it's got a few turns more before it can do anything. So I can start putting damage on it, but it has 160 hit points, so that is going to take a lot of Curse Shadows to knock out. I do finally complete the last pieces of my puzzle here. I get Dodrio, I get my second Chandelure, and you see I leave that Lampent on the bench because I still want to have it around for Luring Light. Luring Light, wow, excuse me, is a really great attack under Trainer Lock, especially for people who bench things unnecessarily, which is most of the people, honestly. And it was something I did too when I was just beginning, and I know I've mentioned it many times on here before, but do not plop things down on your bench just because you can. They need to have a reason to be there, otherwise they're catcher bait, or in this case, Luring Light bait, and they'll get trapped active, and then you lose the game. So the good thing here is that I am going to be able to take out the Zekrom with my Poke Power, and so that means whatever he does send in is going to get burned and confused again. So I think about where I want to put the extra damage, and I figure SEL is the only thing he's going to send in here. May as well start to put some damage on it. Then when I hit it with my attack, which I forget the name of, when I hit it with that, it's going to be burned and confused too, and again, that's his only energy, so his only options are risk the confusion flip or retreat and sacrifice all of the energy he has on the field. Eerie Glow, I think that's what that says. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do, and that puts me in a really, really strong position because he has no energy on the bench. He only has one attack attached to SEL, so even if he does get another energy on it this turn, unless he gets a DCE, I don't believe he's going to be able to attack. So I'm sitting pretty, my Chandelure is only 10 HP away from being knocked out, but I don't really see him being able to mount a counterattack this turn, and by next turn that thing might be almost dead depending on how the burn flips go. So he does manage to pull into some energy here with Interviewer's Questions, and that is going to help him out a bit, but it's a little bit too late because he's already pretty messed up from the Eerie Glow. So he attaches to SEL, and then I believe he is just going to pass. Let's see what happens here. Okay, that was for burn. Yeah, so he can't attack me. He just has to pass. He flips the tails on the burn. I look at the damage. He's got 110. That means the Eerie Glow is going to take him out. That's going to let me draw 2 prizes. And here I look at Dialga. That attack says Time Rewind or something. Costs 4 Metal Energy. Does 70 damage. So that's terrible just from the start. And then the effect reads, shuffle your hand into your deck. The end. Don't draw any cards. Don't do anything else. Just discard your hand or get rid of it. So far and away one of the worst cards ever printed. I could not believe he was playing it. I'll probably throw up the card picture here at the end when I'm talking about whatever I talk about at the end of the video. But anyhow, that Dialga is just making my day because it's also got a 3 retreat cost and it takes 4 energy to attack. So as soon as SEL goes down, I can drag it in there with Lampent and just snipe around it for my last few prizes. So I'm thinking about where I want to put this Psychic Energy. And, I'm tempted to put it on the Lampent because that'll give him enough to attack. But I still need the Lampent to get Dialga up there. So I guess I'm just going to hold it this turn until I decide what I want to do next turn. Just go ahead and go for attack. The attack, take out the SEL, and draw 2 prizes. So I'm down to 3 and really in very strong control of this match. And there's not a whole lot my opponent can do. He's got a lot of energy in his hand, but he doesn't have any way to accelerate it other than like a rare candy into the Ampharos and then Acceleration Bolt. But I don't see that happening. So he plays a Collector here, and I think he grabs a bunch more crazy stuff. I don't remember exactly. I think there's like another Zekrom and some other just random rares that he's obviously pulled from packs and thrown into this deck. we'll have to wait and see what he gets. But yeah, my Chandeler's been at 120 damage for like 4 turns. But Rayquaza, that's right. Okay, no Zekrom, a Rayquaza instead. Nice, and then a Eevee and another Vulpix. So I don't even know which Ninetales he's running. I would guess the bad one, but you never know. So now we've got 2 Vulpixes, and that makes me happy because all of his energy is gone, and so now I'm just gonna start using Curse Shadow to snipe around his active and take out those weakened benched things. So my first Chandelure finally goes down after really putting in some work there. So I think about what I want to do here. I decide to go into Chandelure, and since I had the rescue energy, I get that entire line back. I bench both Litwick. I could have saved room for Blissey here. I run a 1-1 Blissey Chansey line, but I didn't foresee myself needing to use it, so I just figured I'd go ahead and put all the Litwicks down because I really like that picture. So the plan here is use Curse Shadow, I believe, to take out that damaged Mareep there on the bench, and then retreat for free into Lampent and drag that Dialga active finally. Like, I've been looking for a free turn to get that Dialga trapped up here for the whole game, but I've just had other things to deal with, so I haven't actually done it yet, but now I'm finally going to be able to, and that is basically going to be the final nail in the coffin, because there's no way in hell he's getting that thing out of there, and I haven't even seen him use a Steel Energy yet, so I don't even know if it can attack. So even though I'm giving up 30 damage here, really it's just allowing me to drop a lot more damage because I don't have to worry about any kind of counterattack for, at the bare minimum, 2 turns, and that's assuming that he gets a DCE, which I haven't seen. So most likely 3 turns he's not going to be able to do anything. And that 3 turns is 180 damage, which is more than enough to pick off the last few of these unevolved basics on his bench. Everything's got 50 hit points, I think, so I don't even need to worry about that Lantern or the Rayquaza, as tempting as it is to knock that thing out too. I'm just gonna go for the easy kills. And he played Copycat, so he's got a ton of cards now. I check his deck. He's got tons of cards left. I've got 13. That's kind of low, but I only need to take 2 more prizes, so I'm not really worried about it. I also have the N just in case I need to shuffle back in to keep myself from decking. I don't think that's going to be a problem, though. So he's stuck. Guess he's looking at all of his cards, trying to figure out what he wants to do. Sorry, this is kind of boring, but we'll see what he does. So, anyhow, this is definitely my favorite deck in the current metagame. I wouldn't say it's the best one. Oh, there we go. He put a Steel Energy on Lantern. Definitely wouldn't say it's the best one. It's very slow. It's got some bad matchups, but I just really, really like it. Even more than Eel Zone, which is Eel Zone is definitely the better deck, but I just have more fun playing this one, so I was really playing it a lot the last few days before I left for vacation, because I knew Next Destinies is probably not going to be kind to it, and I'm not sure if it's going to survive at all. So I wanted to get my playtime in with it. We'll see how it fares. Chandelure does okay against Mewtwo EX, but the other ones just kind of destroy it. So I guess it really depends on what the metagame ends up looking like, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be around for a whole lot longer. So I wanted to get one more good match recorded with it. I figured it would be a good send-off to the Next Destinies, the Noble Victories era, rather. And anyhow, I guess I could talk about the match, but at this point, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that I'm going to win. I just got to drop damage. He can't do anything to stop me now, short of evolving everything, and that's only going to buy him 1 turn. So this is basically the end of the match. You can see how devastating that Alluring Light is. Completely shut him off for the last few turns of the game, because there's no way to get Dialga out of that spot with Switch locked out and needing 3 energy to retreat. So he's gonna keep doing stuff. I don't know why. Like it's over. It's been over for a few turns. But anyhow, yeah. Next Destinies comes out in a couple of days, and oh right, he disconnects. I forgot. That's right. That's why. Okay, now I remember why I recorded this. We got a Dialga, we got a turn 1 top deck SEL and Rayquaza, and then he rage quit. So yeah, this is a really good match to go out on. Anyhow, next Destinies. I keep getting on topic, I guess, talking about the match, but I want to be off topic. I have mixed feelings about it. I don't know. Like, I am excited for the return of the EX cards. I really like the format right now. So I guess I don't want to. I'm kind of stubborn to change just because I think that this is a much bigger improvement over what the metagame was before Noble Victories, and I feel like it's headed back in that direction with the EX cards. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's all speculation at this point, but I do have a ton of codes saved up, so you can look forward to some pack openings, hopefully some Next Destinies decks, assuming I pull some EXs, since that is basically what I'm going to need. You know, other than that, it's really just the trainer cards that are going to be useful, and I guess Musharna is a possibility, but we'll see. So anyhow, I will probably be doing some pack openings and then trying to put some decks together for you guys. It also depends, of course, on how many bugs we get, because this is TCGO and they are lazy as hell when it comes to fixing the game. I mentioned before, I haven't actually been playing that much just because it's hard to finish a match, and with Eviolite being broken now, basically, if you don't want to cheat, your only options are run Magnezone deck or run this deck, because neither of them rely on doing, Magnezone hits for unlimited damage, and this one doesn't need, it just bypasses Eviolite thanks to Curse Shadow. And so yeah, those are basically the only two real decks you can play right now. And we just keep getting the same excuses over and over again about, oh, this is beta, we're trying really hard, and they keep telling us, like, oh, we do a ton of testing behind the scenes, blah, 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 and that's, obviously not true. Like, if they actually tested, when Eviolite came out, it didn't work at all. It did nothing. So any amount of testing would have shown that it wasn't working, but they released it anyhow. So either they knew it was broken and they released it, or they just didn't test it and they released it. But whatever, the mods swear up and down that they're doing a ton of testing and working as fast as they can, but it's been 3 months since Noble Victories has been out, and there's still a ton of broken cards. It's just getting really, really irritating. I know I probably bitch about TCGO in every video I post, but I'm just really disheartened, and I don't know, just venting. I guess it's my channel, so I do what I want. But I know a lot of you guys play too, so I'm sure you're tired of the glitches as well. And I guess the one good thing I can see coming from Next Destinies is maybe it'll mitigate some of the glitches, just because the cards won't be used as much. But as long as Eviolite's broken, TCGO is broken. Like, I cannot believe that they haven't done anything about it. It completely breaks the game right now because it stacks, and it's been weeks since they've attempted to fix it. Like, the problem was identified the day they released the new patch, and then they haven't done anything for a week. It's like they only even attempt to try and fix something once a month. So we've only gotten 3 fixes, and they didn't even fix anything. The only thing they fixed was freaking the snow cone thing. So anyhow, we'll see. I do want to play the game. I want to build the Next Destinies decks. Like, I really want to get Tyram going again, because I think it's going to be a pretty solid deck once Mewtwo is running wild. So I really want to test it out. But with you know, all of the EXs being basics and all of the basics being able to use Eviolite, and every deck using Eviolite being broken right now. I don't know how much fun it's going to be. So we'll see if they even attempt to fix it when they release the next Destinies cards, but I'm not going to hold my breath. And I've rambled on for probably a good 5 or 10 minutes now that the match has been over. I'm really sorry. If you're still here, I congratulate you. And also, if you're fed up with this shit like I am, I would highly recommend that you make your voice heard on the TCGO forums. You know, don't like be rude or anything, but I think the more people that express their dissatisfaction, hopefully the quicker they'll fix it. But it seems like they really just don't care at this point. They're going to do what they want to do as long as people keep buying the cards. That's all that they really care about. So anyhow, my rant's finished. This match has been over for a while now. If you're still here, thanks for watching. I will have lots of next Destiny stuff as soon as it's released, and probably have a Wi-Fi battle or something between here and there. So if you watch those two, I will have more coming your way shortly. Thanks, guys.